On your marks.
So underway and a fairly willing start out to the side there, which is good to see. So as they settle, I think the pace will be well and truly on for this B race. So nice start here. The boys starting to really settle themselves down. Wouldn't be surprised if Laker moves his way up forward. Rat Ray currently do the pace, but now it's Laker. We saw him do this at Milers last week with great effect, really dragged the field through to some very fast times. So the man from Eureka there in Stevens to the outside, brilliant debut marathon from him at Melbourne. Now Laker is really pushing forward. Going with him there, I think that might be Westerweller out next, then Saville Bentley. He'll be spurred on by his teammate winning the Victorian champs not so long ago. And now Stevens makes his move one lap in. So 69 opening lap, they're off quick. So men's B 5,000 metres. Laker now being joined by Stevens. I think Westerweller, next position. So two young men who did the Melbourne Marathon there in second and third. Jack Hynam also up present early. So Saville Bentley also thereabouts. Daniel Claxton out there. I'm seeing Sam Williams sitting at the rear of the field at the moment. Going through with 11 laps to go. Laker leading. Stevens, Westerweller, Saville Bentley, Claxton, Rat Ray. Darcy Williams sitting nicely in the middle pack there. Connor Merrigan just to the outside of him. So approaching 800 metres. So around the 2:22 mark, so they're still sitting on sub 15-minute pace. Looks like we've got a change of lead. So it looks like Stevens is the one who wants to take the pace now. So Laker will just settle into that second position. Claxton in next. But as we said, they've really set off beautifully for this B race. And once again, we're seeing some really good cooperation between the runners to really establish good pace and just maintain it. So now Stevens, the marathoner, comes through. 3 minutes right on. Laker, Claxton, Saville Bentley, Westerweller, Ratway. Then Williams. A little bit of a gap forming, the top 4, then 5. Now we're seeing Williams trying to bridge that gap as he goes alongside Westerweller. We're also seeing Dutton move through on the inside. Ludbrook also from Eureka moving up forward. Gee, a lot of moves. As they saw that gap starting to form, no one wanted to drop off that pace, and that was some really good running as we see a change of lead once again. This is really good stuff out here in this B 5,000 metres. Now Claxton from Glen Huntly. Then Stevens from Eureka. Laker, Glen Huntly. Williams from Wendouree. Saville Bentley from Yarra Ranges. Then looks like it's Ludbrook from Eureka. The Essendon runner there, Ty Davis. First time we've called him. He's moving up nicely and everyone's got good position on the rail. This is good running in 5,000 metres on a windy night. This is how you do it. Just get on that long train. But they have been changing their leaders, which has kept the pace moving nicely. So Patton now starting to move alongside Portwood. Njetic from Knox also moving beautifully at the moment. Williams still quite happy to sit at the rear of the field there. So Sam Williams not letting the pack get too far away, just biding his time at the back. So no change. The line just continues to work its way around here through the laps. And they'll come through and they will get 8 laps to go. So hitting the mid stages of this event, and we're seeing that long line just starting to stretch a little bit. So Claxton leads. 8 laps to go. Stevens still sitting there in comfortable position, just watching the moves. Laker on the rails. Williams, Ty Davis. Then Ludbrook comes across. Saville, Bentley, Rattray, Dutton, Portwood. Then Merrigan. Netich looks very smooth. $5.58 at the 2K mark, so that 3 kilometre pace still just ticking along beautifully, and we do have a little bit of a change out front once again, so Stevens takes it. So Stevens, Laker, Claxton, Williams, looking dangerous, in good position, just out. Big run from Davis. Ludbrook's just off the back of him. Then Saville, Bentley, Ratway, Portwood, Netich, Patton. Then we've got Tiemans. Gap then to Hynum, Westuella, Dutton, Merrigan. Then Williams. And then Rodriguez, Ordonez. So Williams now into 3rd position. Davis moving alongside Claxton to move into 4th. Portwood looking good as he moves up on Ludbrook. So approaching halfway. So Stevens leads them through the midpoint of this race. So right on that 15-minute mark still, 7:30 as they go through the halfway mark, maybe 7:29. So no change. Order. 6 laps to go, has not changed. Stevens, Laker, Williams, Davis, Claxton, Ludbrook, Portwood, Saville, Bentley, Rattray, Netich, Patton, Tiemans. Then a bit of a gap to Hynum. Another gap then to Westuella. Merrigan and Dutton running together. Williams and then a Rodriguez Ordonez. So the whole field separated by 100 metres, 6 laps out. A little bit of a break there for Stevens. I'm not sure whether it's injected pace or whether the pace is going off in the chases. And we're coming around to approach the 3 kilometre mark. So Laker still leading the chasers. Portwood's making the big moves here. So Johnny Portwood going to the outside. Just having a look around, you'll see that Williams is going with him. Laker is separating them at the moment. He's got the split there. Ludbrook in next position, then Claxton. Stevens, 5 laps out, 3K and 8:58. So we're maintaining that real regular 72-second laps. So 72, 72, 72. And Stevens just motoring along like a marathon runner does. He's in good rhythm here, and it's Johnny Portwood who's doing the chasing. Ludbrook now in 3rd, so 1st and 3rd there for the Eureka team. Williams, Davis, then it is Laker. Gap to his teammate there in Claxton, then Netich and his teammate Patton to the outside of him. Another 2 teammates there in Rattray and Tiemans, down the back straight, then Saville, Bentley. Bit of a gap then to Hynum, Williams, Merrigan, Dutton, Westuella, and Rodriguez Ordonez. But coming around, gaps are starting to really form now in this lead bunch. Ben Stevens coming through to get 4 laps to go. So Portwood, he's the one making the moves here. Really looks like he's driving towards Ben Stevens. Stevens looks very comfortable. 10.09 as they go through with 4 to go. Ludbrook in 3rd, then Williams 4th and Davis 5th. Gap then to Laker and Patton. Nettage not far behind, then Tiemans. Hynam in next position, 4 out. Then Westerweller, Merrigan, Dutton and Williams, Rodriguez Ordonez, but down the back straight. Portwood really trying to work this, but Stevens looking so smooth. So everyone out, 4 laps to go as they come around the top bend. Stevens, 10 to 15 metres up over Portwood. Portwood trying hard, but that gap not coming in. As we see Ben Stevens coming through, he'll be getting 3 laps to go. So 3 out. Eureka 1 and 3. Doncaster in the middle there, courtesy of John Portwood. Big run from the young man from Wendouree. Also the young man from Essendon there in Davis. Then Patton, Tiemans, Nettage, Laker, Rattray, Claxton, Saville Bentley. That gap from Stevens now really starting to go big, big, big as we see Ludbrook and Williams starting to chase down Portwood, who's been trying really hard to bridge that gap in those stages as we hit the 4 kilometre mark in 11:54 thereabouts. It's 55. So the 4 kilometre mark's been reached. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all through into the last kilometre now. As we see Ben Stevens just gliding away from the field as he comes through, and he'll be seeing 2 laps to go. Stevens, Portwood, about to be joined by Ludbrook and Williams. 2 out. Gap then to Davis. Big run from the young man from Essendon tonight, though. He's just got to hold those 2 extra laps. Patton and Tiemans with him. Impressed with Tiemans' run. He's really judged this beautifully tonight. Nettage and Laker. But down the back straight, second last time, it is Ben Stevens. He's now out by about 60 metres. And we have a change in the order as it is Brendan Ludbrook who takes second. We now have Williams from Wendouree moving into 3rd ahead of Portwood, who just latches onto the back of that pack. And now we've got the chasers really starting to move as Tiemans and also Patton moving nicely with 600 out and Lakers back into it again. So Rodriguez Ordonez coming through to get 2 to go as our leader. Ben Stevens comes into the home stretch for the second last time. So big break now to Stevens. It's out to nearly 80 metres. So an impressive run here, solo run for the last few laps here. And Ben Stevens smiles as he hears that bell. Or was that a grimace from Ben Stevens? So 1 lap to go from Stevens. He looking so smooth. His teammate Ludbrook in second position. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a battle for pride here between Eureka and Wendouree. Portman in next position. Then it is Patton, Tiemans, Lakers, Saville Bentley, Nettage and Davis. Rattray next, then Claxton. On to their last laps. Westerweller coming through now, another one of our marathon runners. Down the back straight, and it is out by 80, and we've got Stevens into his last 200. Gee, there's going to be some moves here. We're seeing Patton really trying to latch on to those next 2 in front of him. Portwood just has done a lot of work out there and just starting to drift back as Tiemans goes past him. Saville Bentley 200 out, also has Johnny Portwood in his sights. So Williams with 1 lap to go. Then Dutton, as we see Rodriguez Ordonez coming through to get the bell, but it will be our winner here. Look at the time, 14:40 now, and it's going to be a good win here. Nice negative split. Ben Stevens, Eureka takes out the B race. 14:45, unofficial. He's happy with that. And Williams tipped him all along to be a big finisher here. So Williams will take second, Patton in third, Tiemans fourth, then Ludbrook, Saville Bentley, Portwood, Laker. Nice run here, just over the 15 minutes for Davis and Njetic. Then Rattray coming through, and Claxton, one of our early leaders. So very entertaining 5,000 metre B race here. As we see Westerweller coming through now. So Baden Westerweller from Mansfield coming through 15:26 thereabouts. Merrigan from Old Scott, she'll be right on the 5:30 mark. There's Sam Williams from Deakin, Jack Hynam, Glenn Huntley, Pete Dutton from Frankston. And Rodriguez, Ordonis coming through right on the 16-minute mark, and that completes our men's B, 5,000 metres.